Hi, this guide is about choosing a TV, quick and simple. Let's go. The first question you should ask yourself is what actually you need a TV for. Because if you need some kind of a simple one for kitchen, for watching news while you are cooking something, it will have a decent price tag. And if you need an 8K 100-inch monstrosity for your living room, the price tag is gonna be huge. Anyway, long gone are the days when smart TVs had significantly bigger prices. Non-smart TVs are almost ceased to exist these days, just simply because there's close to zero demand for them. If you're absolutely sure you're gonna do just fine with cable or satellite TV, you can buy a regular one. I mean, non-smart. In any other case, consider buying a smart one. Indeed, you can buy an external smart TV box, but keep in mind that it's a separate device with a separate remote and a separate power source. So it's better to have all in one. I mean, a smart TV. And if you decide to buy a smart TV after all, make sure it's an Android TV, because any other alternatives couldn't even be compared in terms of app quantity and quality. Sure, you'll get all the major streaming services plus YouTube on every single platform. But what if you want more? That's where Android TV is an absolute beast. Next question is screen resolution and screen size. Briefly speaking, the bare minimum you'll need in terms of screen resolution is Full HD. 4K is definitely better, but before buying it, you should make sure you know where to get 4K content for it. 8K, well, 8K is an option when you, let's say, want to make it rain, when you want to buy the best out there. But there's close to zero 8K content, plus it's pricey. The size definitely matters. But there's a trick to it. You should sort out all the parameters of your future TV. Make sure everything fits your needs. And then and only then buy the biggest one you can afford. Just make sure it will fit the place you want it to be in. The next thing is image refresh rate. The higher it is, the more crisp the image is. Let's say we look at a flying ball. With low refresh rates, this ball can turn into a comet with a tail. With high refresh rate, it will stay a ball. So the bigger the better principle works here in this particular case. There's the other thing, like motion clarity index or perfect picture index or whatever random names brands assign to it. That's an absolutely abstract thing that can't be measured with anything. It exists just to impress you with a higher number. Because 1200 Hz sounds way cooler than 120 Hz, doesn't it? Panel types. VA and IPS will work just fine for majority of people. If you want something better and you can afford it, you can look at OLED panels. That's a whole another level of brightness, whole another level of colors, whole another level of perception of the image. And don't be scared of so-called burn-in issues. It was an issue, yeah, 7 years ago. Current OLED TVs are way more reliable than the first ones. The next level is QLED. It's brighter, the colors are something out of this world, but the response rate is low, so those TVs aren't good enough for gaming. QD OLED is a hybrid of QLED and OLED, which is great for both gaming and enjoying your favorite movies. But of course, that's not a cheap option. One more option is nano cell, which is not as stunning as OLED or QLED, but is way more affordable. Backlight types. In fact, every single one of them works just fine, well, maybe except for Edge LED, but even Edge LED isn't a disaster by itself. You should check it before buying with one simple trick. Get a USB flash drive with 5 images on it. Simple rectangles filled with one color. Black, white, green, red and blue. Using those you can check if the backlight is even and you don't have any darker or brighter spots on it. Talking about other types, Direct LED is decent, Mini LED is amazing, FALD and Dual LED are good. Additional screen features, HDR and Dolby Vision. Both features are about a wider dynamic range. But what does it mean? Have you ever took a photo where the sun is behind the object you are taking a photo of? You can have two possible results of this photo. Either the object turns completely black, but you clearly see the sky and the sun, or the object is clearly visible, but the sky and the sun turns into entirely white plain background. Well, in simple words, both of those features exist so you can see both the background and the object evenly in one picture. But not only that, the colors become breathtaking. But bear in mind the fact that the content has to be specific. A TV can't show something that isn't there. I mean, if you open that poor photo from my previous example on your HDR TV, you won't see anything new. It still would be a poor photo. Let's talk about the sound. You should just accept the fact that there's no good sound in TVs with a reasonable price tag. Sad but true. Sure, it will be enough for watching evening news or your favorite TV show, but when you want to watch a movie, you'll feel the lack of volume, the lack of bass, the lack of surrounding effect, pretty much the lack of everything. If you want all those built into your TV, open your wallet wide. Or consider buying an external sound system, or at least a sound bar. Or, if you want it to be just a little bit more advanced, look at TVs with acoustics from JBL, Bang & Olufsen, Harman Kardon, Bowers & Wilkins or Onkyo. What else? Gaming. If you are planning on using your future TV with current-gen consoles, make sure your TV supports VRR or VLLM. If you are planning on using it with your PC or laptop, make sure it supports either AMD FreeSync or NVIDIA G-Sync, depending on your GPU manufacturer. Also, make sure your TV supports HDMI 2.1 port. Speaking of ports, think of everything you are going to connect to your future TV. Gaming consoles, external sound systems, maybe even a VCR if you feel like it. And make sure there are enough ports for all of it. Two more important things about placing the TV. If you are thinking of placing it on some kind of a shelf, make sure it fits. My personal example. I have two TVs, a 43-inch one and a 52-inch one, and I have to use a 43-inch one because it has a single stand that fits the shelf. The 52-inch model has two legs that are too wide to fit the shelf. Or maybe the problem is I'm too lazy to replace the shelf? Nah. The second important thing is a mount. If you are thinking of placing your TV on a wall, you should think about it in advance, because those mounts differ and by a lot. The types, the maximum weight, different VESA sizes and so on. Just look into your TV specs and choose one accordingly, considering your personal preferences. Brands. Here's what I have to say. There's Sony, that have the best sound a TV could possibly have. No other brand puts so much effort in sound as Sony. There's LG and Samsung. The image quality is good and the sound is at least decent or better. There's Philips, which is less popular but not worse in any terms. And then there's everything else. I'm not saying all other brands and all their models have issues. No. But they might have those issues, and you should be prepared for them. So the best advice will be try it before you buy it. Watch it and listen to it in your closest shop or showroom. Check if the backlight is even. Check if the image is clear. Check if sounds fits your needs. And check the smart platform, so it's not slow as hell and it has got all the apps you need. And that's it. If you still have any questions, feel free to write them down in the comments and you'll definitely get a reply. Also, feel free to smash that like button if you think that video was useful, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more useful vids. See ya!